Hi everyone, today is July 12th and I wanted to do an update video and show you how everything's going. The sun has been murderous here in New England with the temperatures and the humidity. Everything looks pretty much dull throughout the day. I mean, if you look at my strawberries, you know, it doesn't look too great. It's making them kind of ripen up a lot quicker, which it means like it's turning red and they're really small. So to be quite honest with you, I don't pay very much attention to my strawberries because they're really not a big deal for me. I wanted to see if I can get it looking beautiful and growing, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to wait till next year and probably do a better job at this. The lettuce, they all burned out and became wilted and horrible looking. So this is probably the last video you're gonna see of the strawberries. So my potatoes actually are doing really well. I added some of my compost to the top of it. It's really dry from the weather, and what I'm going to do once the sun goes down and it gets a little bit less humid, I'm going to go ahead and water it. The same here with my broccoli. I haven't yet seen any crowns forming on this broccoli. Hopefully I do get something before the season's over. Because my son loves broccoli and I would love to see that. My herbs, I did harvest some of my herbs. We have been cooking with it. I am going to come in and harvest some more of it. I don't want it to get too big because then it's just going to go to seed and I don't want that. My chamomile is doing actually really well. If you can see, there's lots of flowering. And then my carrots are actually doing awesome too. If I actually take this, and you could actually see a little carrot there. So what I'm going to do is cover that back up and continue to allow it to grow. And then we have some more carrots coming up as well. And we have this nice big one right here as well. Then you have my sister's Mexican sunflower seeds. They're actually doing really well. You could actually see soon that it should be flowering. They're not getting as tall as I thought, but we'll see what happens with that. Then we have the blueberries, or what I like to say, just the bush itself. I rotated it just to see if it will fill out on this side, but like the blueberries aren't doing very well. Really not my main focus. Then we have the tomatoes, and if you see, the tomato tree has gotten big. It's literally almost to the top of my little little shade house, I guess. And then my cherry tomatoes here. It's actually got a lot of flowering going on. A lot of flowering happening here on this, and which I'm hoping will come some tomatoes soon. Then we have my cherry tomatoes. We have a lot of flowering going here, and you actually can see some tomatoes. And if you remember, this was my original tomato, the first tomato to ever come out. I'm just waiting for it to turn red. Then we have my my green beans here. You could actually see them right here. Some green beans forming. There's a lot of flowering going on here, which is awesome. You can see all the flowering, and it is getting taller, but it's not getting that tall because of the tomatoes are kind of blocking the sunlight out. I have my bell peppers. I really don't see anything happening here with the bell peppers. I mean, you do see like some little buds here, but it's not getting very big. It's not really doing much. My jalapenos are getting bigger though. The bush is getting a lot fuller. You do see jalapenos here. I have harvested jalapenos off of here. There's a lot going on here. It's actually doing really, really well. You have the zucchini over here. The one in the back is actually getting really big, and if you could see, it's really kind of coming along the back of my jalapenos. And what I've decided to do actually is I think I might eventually just pull it. It is getting so big. There's no way for me to actually get back there to do anything with it, to trim it, to, you know, keep it working lively here. It does have a flower there, but it's really unproductive. So I have my other one here in front. What I've noticed is if you look at the leaves, they're getting very dull and kind of almost have burns on them. A lot of the leaves look really unhealthy, but then you have a lot of like the newer leaves that are looking great. I have these leaves on the front end, and a lot of the leaves kind of are trying to turn into burnt leaves, so I'm just going to keep a closer eye, but my zucchinis aren't doing that well. I do have one flower here in the front, if you can see that, but apart from that, my zucchinis aren't doing well at all. Then we have the eggplant. You actually have an eggplant flower there, which is dropped down to look like it might be growing an eggplant. What I've noticed with this is actually very powdery. If you look at the stem of it, it's really powdery. I don't know if that's something typical. I am planning on going to my garden center to find out if it is. I did buy some neem oil, if you can see the little bugs here, so I can get rid of those. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. My my zucchini is actually doing really well. I have quite a bit of flowering going on here. You can see all the flowering. I did trim this back some, but this, if you could see this zucchini, it is fighting for some sunlight. So what it's doing is it's literally bending down and coming out to the front, so which is actually doing really well. It's making it survive longer, and you see quite a bit of flowering. And if you actually touch these plants, it's very prickly. Like, they grow these bristles on their leaves and on their stems, so it kind of hurts touching them, which I think is kind of cool. It's a little bit of a defense mechanism. It helps me out. But this particular zucchini is actually has so many buds on it. I definitely think I'm going to have a good production out of this, hopefully by the end of the summer. So my zucchini is doing great. My cucumber is doing well. You do see a lot of flowering going on, but again, the leaves look unhealthy and they're not doing very well. But I do have a lot of flowering going on here, so we'll see what happens with that. My watermelon is getting bigger, and the squash is slowly but surely getting bigger. I do feel that maybe using the garden dust was not a good idea, because I believe that might be the culprit to what's going on with these leaves. So I definitely won't ever do that again. I'll just stick to my neem oil and just let nature do its thing. So that's doing pretty well. And then I have here my peppers, which is also called locos, which is doing really well. Actually, they've done a lot of harvesting. I have some more harvesting to do. Luckily, my sister her husband loves spicy things, so he can fully appreciate these peppers. So then you have all of my herbs and stuff going on. The tarragon's actually doing really well. My mom's really loves this tarragon. And then another form of marigolds I have going on here too, but no flowers. I find that the disco and the original marigolds are actually the prettier of the bunch. So, but I do plan on doing a video, already planning for next year, showing you guys what my plans are, and to maybe get some feedback for that. So let's go check out my pumpkin. Now, the pumpkin always looks like this during the day. The leaves do tend to get soft and wilty, and that changes as soon as the sun comes off of it and I get some nice water. It looks lively again. But the only thing that I'm running into is how tall it's getting. That to the point where the trees are actually coming and bending over. So As much as I would like it to be straight up like this, what I'm planning to do is have my husband connect it to the fence and then taking it and kind of reworking it. The only problem is you have to be really careful, because if you look to see what happens here, it's damaging the stalk. And I don't want that to happen, so I need to hurry up and do something about that. There is some flowering going on, some buds happening here, so hopefully that turns into some pumpkins, so that way we can at least get something off of here. But this was actually a really good lesson learned. The soil is really rich in my backyard. So I plan on doing a raised bed here. I do plan on doing a raised bed here so that I can plant over here, but I probably won't do something as viney as this. So okay, that's everything. It is July 12th and it's around 4 o'clock here in New England, so enjoy.